I got a question on a comment about the kiln. This is the AIM 96J/D. The D is digital, 96J is the model of kiln. It's 10 inches by 10 inches, and it's like, I don't know, 6 to 8 inches tall inside. It's a rather small kiln, but it's enough for a production day of small paperweights or marbles or pendants or beads or even glass tobacco novelties. And it's got a nice little door here that closes, and then it's got a door on the bottom for keeping stuff warm or for beads on mandrels. It's really simple to operate. You flip the switch and the digital controller goes back to whatever your set point was. In this case, my set point is 1050 degrees. It's where I keep most of my glass for almost everything. And at the end of the day, I can press that until it says program, tell it to run the program, and then it goes through a series of from 1050, 30-minute ramp down to 960, dwell at 960 for an hour, and then ramp down to 750, dwell, ramp to 500, dwell, ramp to 3. I can't remember the whole schedule, but there's a whole schedule to it, and it's pretty snazzy to have it just take care of itself. Well, it's been a while since anybody's actually seen me blow anything, and today I thought that I'd throw out something that I make. I do them a little different than I've seen some people do them. I know there's pretty much nothing in glass. There's pretty much no technique out there that any glass artist can legitimately say, nobody else does this. And the reason I say that is the individual techniques of color manipulation and working glass have been around for thousands of years. So one of the first things that just will piss off a seasoned glass artist is someone saying, look what I invented. And it's a technique that in all likelihood was done 3,000 years ago by the Italians. I'm going to do a little implosion pendant, but I'm going to do a little different. Maybe some of you have seen this method, maybe not.
The medium-sized flame of the Barracuda is near ideal for pulling points on 25mm tube. It's about the same exact diameter as the tube itself, which leaves you in a very happy zone. I think I'll take a quick minute while I'm pulling this point and congratulate Sheep in a Rowboat on your new kiln and your didymium lenses. It looks like you're moving forward in glass. That's pretty cool. Here I am fighting with that, trying to make that last point really concentric without burning my hands. Suddenly remembered here that I have a didymium filter for the camera and decided to put it on so you guys didn't have to deal with the sodium flare. Something that should be noted is these videos are a lot shorter to watch than the process is in real life, mostly because I'm cutting out all the general heating. So here I am with the 25mm point just about hot enough and uniformly warm to go ahead and do my first inflation. Well, I have several goals here. I want a very round bubble, and I also want the bubble to be very thin. I buy my silver in the form of US bullion coins that are 99.9% pure silver. I find it to be more than adequate and very easily obtainable. You can go to just about any coin shop in the nation and buy a silver dollar that's 99.9% pure silver. Use it for your fuming. Should also note, if you don't have really good ventilation, you should not be fuming. You can kill yourself pretty easy with this stuff. Silver will work itself out of your system over a period of time. Gold, however, will not. It's got a cumulative effect, so if you're fuming, especially with gold, you have to be really careful. I've gone to a really carburizing flame here, and what I'm actually doing is developing some of the color in the silver. The carbon molecules can actually cling to the silver and help you darken up and make some really pretty colors. And I've switched to a really oxidizing fire because now I'm going to be pouring a lot of gold fuming on top of the silver fuming that's already present. Silver fuming does several things here. One, it adds a lot of complexity to the color, and two, the silver fuming actually acts as a binding agent between the gold and the glass. Gold and glass, they stick well, but they don't stick well, if that makes sense. And I've got a small rod here, 4 or 5 millimeter rod. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put dots on the bottom end of the ball that I've blown out of this 25 millimeter point. And those little dots are going to actually end up trapping a layer of the gold and silver I've fumed onto the sphere between the two layers of glass. And I'm going to go ahead and start melting those dots all the way into the glass. And since I've got a really thin tube here, it's going to start collapsing on itself very rapidly. And as it collapses, it condenses the artwork into the glass. And you can see I switch hand positions and rotation very frequently while I'm dealing with an implosion like this. It can go poopy south fast. You got to remember to always be shooting the flame at the face of the glass, not at the edge, and slowly let it melt back, because otherwise you can end up trapping a ring bubble. You start to get an idea of the implosion that's going on. Now I got to get rid of that blowpipe, and hopefully without troubling a bubble out in the face of my pendant, or marble, or whatever I choose to turn it into. First thing I did there is make the wall of the tube just paper thin. By making that wall paper thin, I can get down to a bubble on the very face of the pendant and then use a tearing rod to open that bubble up. Since the bubble is open, I can go ahead and condense the face of the marble and allow it to just all form into one piece, and the open bubble will end up sealing itself without trapping air, which is the whole goal here. Here we are, right back at that general heating moment that we talked about. It's just lots of time heating and heating and heating. A few seconds of intricate details. And here you go. This is the implosion technique for gold and silver that I use a lot, and I do it on a hollow point like you saw. I just wanted to throw out a color technique and a way to trap some really beautiful artwork inside the glass to all of the glass artists out here. A lot of you will have seen this technique, and some of you may not have seen the technique, so I thought I'd throw it out there. Remember, it's just a matter of fuming and then trapping with clear dots, and then condense it up and in there. Play with it and have fun, guys. It's the Acroduster saying, glass rocks.